Elastic shirring is one of the most beautiful sewing techniques, and it's so easy to make, and you can make it in literally just a few minutes. I love elastic shirring because it's one of the easiest and most beautiful techniques that completely transform your fabric by giving it elastic gathers. It's a very versatile technique that you're able to use in your already made garments, or you can make a garment from scratch using this technique. Shirring creates this beautiful structure. It's very simple to make and you don't need any special tools, but what you need is the elastic thread. This tutorial is created in partnership with Mettler, and today we will be using their thread elastic. So let's get started and let's learn how to create elastic shirring. So step one is you will need elastic thread. This thread is very elastic and it's used only in the bobbin. Now, because this thread will stay in the inside of the garment, there is no need to match it perfectly with the color of your fabric. However, most commonly you will find that this thread comes in two colors, white or black. There are several more colors, but these are most common options that you will find in the store. So usually I like to use white thread when I'm working with bright colored fabrics, and I like to use black thread when I'm working with dark colors. When you're choosing elastic thread, what I want you to do is unravel a little bit of the thread and just do this to see how well the thread stretches and recovers. So I personally like to use Mettler elastic thread. I've been using this thread for several years now and I made multiple garments using it. The thing I like about this particular thread that even after multiple wears, even after multiple washes, the thread qualities remain the same and they don't stretch out, which I personally love. Now step two is wind elastic to bobbin by hand. Now this is key in this technique because you don't want to pre-stretch the thread before it goes into the seam. This is why we are winding the bobbin by hand and we are not stretching the thread, we are just gently winding the bobbin. When you winded the bobbin, insert it to place. Step 3 is use standard sewing as the thread at the top. So in this technique, the elastic thread goes only in the bobbin and the top thread remains the same, meaning you can match it with your fabric color. Today I'm using Mettler Metrocent as my top thread, which is an all-purpose thread. This thread will be visible from the outside of the garment, so I match it with my fabric. Now one tip, if you want to match perfectly the fabric and the color of your thread, unwind a little bit of the thread and put it on top of your fabric. If it sort of blends into the fabric, you found the perfect match. Step 4 is set sewing machine to longest straight stitch. So the rule here is very simple. The longer the stitch, the more gathers you will get. I personally like to do this technique using the maximum length, which is 5 millimeters. Step 5, begin and end seam with back stitches. It is important to secure the seam at the beginning and the back of the seam so that the seam won't pop. Also, if your sewing machine has the auto thread cutting function, I recommend not using it for this specific technique because once it cuts the thread, the bobbin thread, because of its elasticity, will jump back into the bobbin and you will have to get it out by hand. So I simply like to not use this auto thread cutting function at all when using elastic shirring. Step 6 is sew a straight seam and form gathers. As we sew, the elastic thread gathers the fabric and creates these beautiful ruffles. So important thing to mention here is the elastic shirring is always done from the right side of the garment, and the inside of the garment will look like this, so you will see the elastic thread. So shirring works best on light to medium weight fabrics. I often get asked how much the fabric will shear, and it will shear a lot. Just look how much it's gathered, right? So I do recommend either using the patterns that are meant for shirring specifically, and at the end of the video I will add a few recommendations, or if you're making your own pattern from scratch, I like to increase body measurements at least by 50% to do elastic shirring. So most commonly you want to do not one row of shirring but multiple rows of shirring to create a beautiful texture. So to do that, First, start by drawing shirring lines on the right side of the fabric using chalk. Once we start gathering the fabric, it will really be difficult to see where to sew and sew at a straight line. This is why we are drawing the lines ourselves, and it will work as our guide. Start sewing a seam, securing the beginning with back stitch. Sew along the line, and at the end of the line, pull needle down, lift presser foot, rotate fabric at 90 degrees, then reduce stitch length to minimum, I like to use 1 millimeter, and sew until next line. Then pull needle down, lift presser foot, rotate fabric and restore stitch length to maximum and sew until next end of the line. Then pull needle down, rotate fabric, reduce stitch, sew until next line, pull needle down, rotate fabric, increase stitch length and sew along the line. Continue doing this with as many lines as you want. This method will secure the ends of each line and they won't pop when stretched. So one more way how to do elastic shirring is to create this absolutely beautiful square shirring. So you want to do it exactly how you did this one. You first start by doing vertical lines and then you do horizontal lines crossing the vertical ones. Again, this will work as a guide when we're sewing because sewing this beautiful texture will get messy very fast. So first, sew all horizontal lines and move between lines just like in previous part. At the end of the line, pull needle down, rotate fabric and sew with reduced stitch length until next line. Then rotate fabric again and sew with maximum stitch length. Finish sewing by doing a few back stitches. Once all horizontal lines are finished, sew along vertical lines using the same technique. Here the important part is to open the fabric when you sew so that you can see exactly where you want to sew. After all horizontal lines are finished, here is the texture that you'll get. This is an absolutely beautiful texture and the thing is, it's fully elastic. So once you finish sewing the gathers, the last thing that you want to do is to steam it. You don't want to iron and press the iron on the gathers because it will crush them. So what instead you want to do is put the iron slightly above the gathers, barely touching them, give it a little bit of steam. It will make the fabric shrink even more and just simply steam it without crushing it with the iron. Let me know if you enjoyed this tutorial by pressing like button. Thank you for watching today's video and I will see you next time. Bye!